My name is Allan Nazareno. I am currently serving as the artist in residence for the Youth Education Foundation based in Hong Kong, and I am the founding director of Broadway Youth Cebu. As a director, I would consider my advocacy to help the young Cebuanos as the thing that makes me most unique. I am very passionate about theater, and so what I've done is I come home and work with my friends who are all theater artists, and we provide training to young Cebuanos that would lead to a full production of a highly recognized Broadway musical title. It all started with my dream of doing more theater work here in Cebu and finding ways to really provide Cebu with shows that otherwise they won't be able to see. What's happening right now is that there's a lot of theater, good theater happening in Manila, but not so much here. And so my dream of being able to provide Cebuanos with this opportunity was the main motivation for me to do what I'm doing right now. And once you start directing theater, you can't stop. If there's one incident in my life that I would say really transformed me, that would really be the high school drama fest that I was in. At UP Cebu High School, we have the senior drama fest, and during the drama fest, during our drama fest, I was able to earn the Best in Musical Scoring award. So I'm primarily a musician, and so that kind of brought a lot of adrenaline, or it really made me alive. And so it inspired me to join the USC Theater Guild when I went to college. So yeah, everything just happened from there. So I would say like that was the single most influential decision that I made, that was to join theater, and that moment at the Drama Fest kind of pushed that whole thing forward. I think being a Cebuano helped me get to where I am now, because I think I would like to believe many Cebuanos are fueled by passion. We are very passionate about what we do, and we don't mind hard work. We are willing to do the work that's given, and we go even greater lengths than what is expected of us. Being a Cebuano allowed me to have this focus. It gave me the strength and the energy to pursue all of my projects. Honestly, being a Filipino abroad may also be I wouldn't say a disadvantage, but it had its challenges. They would always like, what can you do? So I felt like I had to constantly prove myself. And eventually, once you're able to show that you are the real thing, then people will learn to respect and accept you with whatever nationality you are. I'm really lucky that in my current situation, or my current job at Hong Kong, they've been very supportive, and it was not, they did not see my being Filipino as a disadvantage. I started Broadway Youth Cebu with Rudy Aviles. Rudy and I have been friends through theater since the 80s, and we've always shared this passion. And in 2015, there was a project that a school wanted Rudy and I to do, and that was the production of Disney's The Little Mermaid Junior by CPMS. And so I started talking to Rudy, and then we did community theater in 2016. It was always my dream to direct Miss Saigon. Okay, I'll be very honest. I always wanted to direct Miss Saigon. And so I told Rudy, I want to do Miss Saigon. So how can we do it? So we kept on talking. And then suddenly, why don't we offer a workshop? So when we got the license for Miss Saigon in 2017, I told Rudy, okay, now that we got the license, let's organize something. And so that was how Broadway Youth started, by providing a workshop to the students and then providing a musical that links to that workshop. Because through my years teaching in Hong Kong, I've seen that students and parents tend to want to buy into your program if there is a production leading to it. The focus, therefore, was to do the show. But before you do the show, let's do the training. Now that it took off, we find that Broadway Youth Cebu has a very, very unique model here that's never been attempted before, that was never attempted in the past, and still maintains its uniqueness by being the only group that provides months or weeks of theater training, both in performance and in production track, and that leads to a full production. Our biggest challenge is finding an audience here in Cebu. We are really trying hard to provide Cebuanos with high quality, world-class theater productions. And so our challenge is finding the audience to come and watch it. We were a bit lucky last year when we did Miss Saigon. Although we were hoping that we could really fill the cultural center, we were close, but it wasn't yet the full house that I was hoping for. We're also having issues getting funding. So because many of the corporate sponsors are based in Manila, and usually it's Manila that makes the decision of sponsoring projects like these. And by the time we are looking for funding, most of the funding, they said it's already been allocated somewhere else. And so, we have the talent, we have the people that we can showcase, but we don't have the financial support yet. And so, I think our biggest challenge really is to bring audiences in. We will, however, continue to provide the audiences with top-notch productions and performances in the hope that they can help spread the word around. One thing that we at Broadway Youth Cebu will always look into is to bring in the most recognized titles. Last year we did Miss Saigon, and then this year we're doing Les Miserables. So the trend really is to bring the name musicals and then performed by students. So both shows that we've done so far, all the students that you see are below the age of 19. So it's teen theaters, teenagers doing world-class theater. So that one is unique in itself. Another thing that makes Broadway Youth Cebu really stand out is that we have brought in professional talent from outside of Cebu to come here to work with the children. Our students got to work with our set designer. Our set designer is for the past two productions has been Faust Pinera. Faust is an award-winning scenographer based in Hong Kong for a few years, and now he's back in Manila. He's the one who's designed a lot of the Atlantis productions. So he's really a professional set designer. We've also brought in a professional lighting designer from Manila, John Villarreal. We've had our costumes designed by Shirley Idzakovich, who's based in New York and who's done a lot of off-Broadway and student theater productions. She does design it. And so, all of my friends from the international scene, I've asked them to help. Now, during training, so that's, by the way, these three that I mentioned are mainly for the show. But for the workshop, with the advent of virtual with the advent of the internet, we were able to bring in many of my other friends who are unable to come to Cebu to conduct virtual workshops. So for this edition, for this year alone, we had teachers from Canada, we had teachers from New Zealand, we have teachers from Guam, teaching our Cebuano students more about theater through the internet. What inspires me is just being in theater. I really find my mind is always thinking about, okay, what to do next. In fact, after I've done a show, I'm already thinking about, okay, what should I do next? So I think that desire to tell stories, because theater is all about storytelling, that desire to tell stories that mean a lot to the audience is what fuels me. In fact, a week before Les Mis opened in Cebu, I was doing Shrek the Musical in Hong Kong. So it's just a span of 7 days that I put a show together. I like to continue doing it because the passion in me is fueled by wanting to tell more stories. To do what I do, number one, you have to be involved in theater. Just do theater. I think that's the best advice that I could give. Just continue doing theater. If you haven't, consider doing it. If you're in a school that has a theater program, by all means, go ahead and join it. Another advice that I would give is to continue watching shows. When I watch theater, I also learn many new things. So the more I get to be in the audience and see what other stories are being told to me, then I also learn a lot from them. The answer that I have for that question would really be having respect for one another. I think, especially here in Cebu, I'm a bit disappointed because when others see success, there are many who want to try to put you down. Well, one shouldn't be discouraged by that, but there's a lot of that happening when we are not able to be happy for other people's successes. We try to put others down. So I think for best practice, learn to have respect. To be successful in theater, I think you need to follow your passion. Follow your passion. Follow your heart, because that's where theater really is. It's in your heart. You must love doing it, not only for the applause, but mainly for being able to tell a good story that audiences will appreciate. Expose yourself to as much theater as you can. And it doesn't always have to be Western Broadway theater. It can be community theater. It can be even multicultural theater. If you travel, then go and see a show, or go and appreciate the culture. Learn to appreciate different perspectives. Best advice, be nice to everyone. Learn to work with one another. The last advice that I would give, if you are interested in pursuing theater, is to be flexible. Theater is all about adapting and coming up with new solutions every time, because you're really out of control. It's out of your control. You really need to come up with alternatives immediately. So if plan A doesn't work, be flexible and find another solution. So there's this one motto or one saying that my wife always tells her students, and I would like to share: no excuses, only solutions. come and support theater. Come and support theater here in Cebu. We need to develop the culture of theater because we have a lot of the talent. The talent is so rich here in Cebu, but the opportunities are not. And the only way for these opportunities to come is when people go and support it. So I'm really hoping that Cebuanos learn to go and watch theater here. Because my dream is really that Cebuanos will now be known also for theater, for good theater. Thank you for watching Masterminds. Please like and share this video. And if you want to learn more about Broadway Youth Cebu, please visit our Facebook page on Broadway Youth Cebu and our Weebly page, bwayyouthcebu.weebly.com.